All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my stream. I'm DC. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram under DC Lasair. That's DC Lasair. Type !DC into my chat. And you can go to the dclasair.bio.link to find all of my links. And it's Tech Friday. Yay! Yay. I just want Captioner to pick up yay. Because I didn't want to pick up my noise. Yay! So, I did a thing. All right. First thing to talk about today is bots. To continue the conversation from last week, I was looking for the article and wasn't sure where to find it, but I found it. So if you go here, this article from Twitch, I can see there. And now, as of today, IRC chat commands in third-party software, so any bot you use that's outside of Twitch has lost the ability to do the slash whatever commands. And there's a full list at that link. So the people who make your bots have known about this for a while. So over the past week, you may have had to re-log in, re-authenticate, download an update, whatever. There's a new way of doing things that Twitch wants, and it's not using the slash command. So if any of your bot commands use a slash command and put it in the Twitch chat, that's not going to work anymore. Now, if slash commands still work in Twitch chat itself, and anything Twitch makes, it'll work in. It's only third-party stuff. So StreamerBot and Atom and Sammy and Mix It Up and Stream Elements, all those bots have to either update or have already updated, and you just need to download that update or install it or re-authenticate yourself, something. And yeah, that way you'll be all set. But if you have any commands already set up with the slash command in it, you'll have to change that in your bots. And just go to that article on the discuss.dev.twitch.tv. And look it up, read all the details. It's all in there. And that is, today is February 24th. So they have shut down today now as of 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. So they will no longer work, and you probably need to update. I had to update StreamerBot. I've heard Stream Elements, you had to re-authenticate. So make sure you're up to date on your bots if you use them during your Twitch streams. And find a different way of doing any commands that put that slash command into chat. Anyway, let's get into the meat of Tech Friday today, which is Elgato released some new plugins, which are fantastic. And we're going to go over them and show you what they do, how they do it, how it relates to everything you're doing. And yeah, so I'm going to go to a new scene. There's going to be a camera that activates in a moment. So bear with me as that happens. And you'll just hear my voice. All right. So as you can see, we got 3 windows up here. We have the bottom one is just OBS and just the part of OBS we're concerned with today. I got rid of all the other stuff. You see part of the infinity screen going because you need to see a menu. And this is an audio plugin that Elgato made that's in their OBS plugin thingy that lets you control volume directly from OBS with a dial. So first we're going to set up our audio to do this. So I'm going to shut off the wavelength audio and show you first. So the first thing I'm doing, because I won't have audio to explain it, I don't want you to get double audio, is putting my mic input in here just to have my mic input separate. Then I'm going to put in Pretzel. But as soon as my mic input goes in, I'll be talking to you again. So there we go. Now you should be able to hear my voice better. All right. So what I did was I took my microphone out of my normal stream mix out of the Wavelength software I use and have isolated that here. That's just for demonstration purposes. So what I did was hit the plus, and then as you can see here, audio input capture, and then I named it. So this was my mic. So if I wanted to do this again, I could name it whatever. It doesn't matter. Hit OK. And then from my device list, I selected the Wavelength microphone FX because that is my mic through Wavelength with all the filters already applied. And then I hit OK. Cancel. So we're going to remove that one. All right. Now we're going to add in Pretzel because you can add in on a per app basis volume controls. So add, then we want to say application audio output capture up top here. And it brings up this window. I'm dragging this down so you can see it. And this will be Pretzel. Oops, Pretzel. Say OK. Then I get this big window here. Let's see if I can show you any of it. And it's looking for audio. So here you get session. It's where you select from your open things. I want Pretzel. I select Pretzel. And then I hit this add executable button, which adds it to the list here. Then I hit OK. And now I have a thing for Pretzel, right? So if I go to Pretzel, let me just bring up Pretzel, and I hit play. Pretzel is going, right? Okay. So I pause that. So now then, I just wanted to show setup. So we're going to take this window, move it down so we can see the other things. So now then, this is a blank page on my Stream Deck. As you can see, I'm on page 3. Page 3 right there. And I don't have anything programmed. Page 1 is my normal stuff, which for whatever reason Stream Deck isn't talking to. Page 2, page 3. All right. And now what you want to do is make sure you have the OBS Studio plugin that Elgato made. So go to this blue box here, or this little bunch of squares with the little blue circle and the plus sign. Activate that. Plugins. OBS. And the OBS Studio by Elgato. Okay. The bar rater stuff's neat, but it doesn't have this new plugin that they go. Now, this is the Stream Deck Plus as well. So remember that. This is a Stream Deck Plus. So, OBS Studio, you install that. Yay. And then you'll see all of this stuff here on the right. Now then, what they added just this week is the ability to control all your sources from a dial within OBS. So now I have my mic. I click on the dial because it's Elgato's thing. It's aware of clicking on the dial, so you'll see the options change. Bam, now it's like, oh, okay, so this is the dial function, the audio mixer volume. I just move it over to the dial, waiting for OBS to connect. And then I select out of all my sources what this is. So I name this my mic. So I want to find my mic. Bam. And then the step size when I rotate the knob is 1. You can set it 1 to 5, you know, whatever you want. You can give it a title if you want to title it. You can see it comes up there on the screen. So we have that going, and then we do the same thing for pretzel. Add mixer volume, put that in there. Click the source, and then we find the source called pretzel. This is a lowercase one, so pretzel, there it is. Now I have 2 buttons, and now what I want you to pay attention to is the window down below here. You'll notice that this bar here that normally controls the audio goes down when I turn the dials. So let's get pretzel going again. And now I'm turning down pretzel as it plays. Nice additions, yeah. I can even turn down my mic. So, you know, I'm not so loud, and I'm quieter now. And turn me back up. But yeah, and hi Herb, how you doing? And as you can see below here, we have 3 things. It's telling you that you turn the knob, you can adjust the volume. Right, so to the right is increase, to the left decrease. Press in the knob to mute the source. Like that. Now you shouldn't hear pretzel at all. Do that. And then also that bottom icon is if you put a dial stack in, you're going to press in the button or press in the knob, and that will take you to your next selection. It won't mute, but if you touch the touch screen, that'll mute the source. All right. Okay, so that... Oh, I didn't realize the screen is a touch screen too. Wow, yeah! So if you wanted to... so this is a blank screen. As you can see, I'm on screen 3. But if I want to go to my other screens, I just swipe my finger up on the touch screen, and it goes to the other screens. Or what you can do is the traditional thing, OBS, as soon as I click the square here, the menus will change. If you go down to navigation, or wherever your navigation is, your stuff, you can move all this around, and your stuff will probably be in different locations. But navigation, you get these page indicators, previous page, next page, or go to page, page indicator, you know, whatever you want. You can even have it switch a profile, make a folder. So next page, previous page, and then, you know, I'm losing 2 buttons, but then I can, you know, it goes back to page 1 because I don't have a page 4. Then I can just scroll back to the page 3 there. So this is, again, the Stream Deck Plus. Elgato did say in a tweet that they are working on the same thing for buttons, for the big square buttons. So eventually any Stream Deck will have this functionality, and you can just use the buttons, but I like my dials. So those are very handy. And so if you don't want to use the Wavelength software that comes with the Stream Deck Plus, you don't have to. You can just add what you need into OBS and put it in and control your individual sources. This is right through OBS without any fuss, anything. Works really well. And that is the first plug-in I wanted to show off. I think the important plug-in. And it's amazing to me to have another tool that can just instantly go into OBS, because if you don't want to spend money on a mixer thing, now you do have to spend money on the Stream Deck Plus in order for this to work with dials, right? Eventually you can just do this with a Stream Deck, but and you get the Streamlink software with it for free. And so you can do what I do, which is put everything in, and that's what I have muted right now, so I don't double up my sound. There. Okay, now I'm back to how I usually have things set up, which is everything is going into this audio mix here. I should mute Pretzel too. But so you could set up all your audio sources along here, and you have 4 knobs right down here, and if you have a button or you scroll your screen, you have another 4 knobs to do that. So you can keep adding sources, and if you have more than 4 things, just put them on a separate page, and you can keep going. So if that's the way you want to work, and like I said, plugs directly into OBS, you don't even have to worry about learning any other software other than learning how to move thing to here to activate it. Because, as I said before, all the VST stuff I do to my voice, you can do a lot of that in OBS. And if that's the way you want to work, it's perfect. And it's just another way that OBS can be your singular tool for just about everything you do. And the other plugin I wanted to go over, that was a cool one. Let's delete these. Is a neat one as soon as I can find it again. They did a clock. It's the clocks plugin. Look at that. It says clocks. And so, again, you go there, click plugins, click clocks, and there it is, utilities, clocks by Elgato. This will be the blue install button. And so with clocks, you get clocks and world clock, and they need to kind of work on the world clock a little bit, I think. But anyway, clock, I can put it to one of these bars, or one of these dials. Bam. And let me hide the display capture for OBS, because we don't need that right now. So I did that. And now I gotta show you some more commands. Let's make this window just a little bigger so you can see it all. Ta-da. So now I have a clock showing my current time. Clock default. You can select if you want to look analog, right, on the screen. Or if you want it to look digital, you can change the colors. Can add the date. Can have it say the weekday. If you want seconds, not going to do the flash colors, but if you want it, and if you like 12-hour time, there's 12-hour time in my current time zone. And then what you can do is when you go to location, so say I'm in Eastern, so I would click New York. And you notice it says New York above there. But I can change this to say anything I want. So if I'm in the time zone of New York, but I'm not in New York because I'm in Eastern time zone. So say I was in, I don't know, Waterdeep or something. And now it says Waterdeep. Right? You can type in whatever you want here. But then I can add other time zones, Chicago, Los Angeles. You can show more and get a whole bunch of time zones around the world. So say I want London, Berlin, okay? And then now that I've checked all those, I can once again go to a dial, turn it, and it switches the time zone. Can also, again, we have a list of instructions here. I'll zoom in on this so you can see it. We have a list of instructions. So, you know, to the right, to the left, goes through your list. Show hide date. Let's see here. Show hide date, press it in. Right? And right now this just changes. This changes the time zones because I have more time zones selected. And then I can tap here. It does stuff. And, you know, so you have a lot you can do here. And let's see here. Zoom, zoom. Oops. So like I said, you can change the color of the time, the color of the date. If you click Open Editor, it opens this widget where you can further control position, custom names. Like, you know, I have New York set to Waterdeep. What the colons look like. You know, I want to change their colors. I want a green. Oh, this will look awful, but can do that. Date, again, you can change the color of the date. You can change the font size if you want the date a little bigger. Can not show the weekday. Can hide the layer. Right, there's a few things that are a little fussy with it that they probably need to fix, but I think that's pretty cool. Also, you can do this here and in a button as well, so you don't need the Stream Deck Plus. But you go here, and you can, once again, select the type of clock you want. Notice it changes the button, location, right? Then hit the button, and it changes the city for the time zone. But also what you can do is if you want to look like a classy newsroom from an old movie, you go analog clock, and then title, you know, New York. Oh, I like that better. And then drag another one. And location, London. And go back to style. Clock. I select the analog clock. And look, I look like a fancy newsroom now. I have different time zones displayed. I have too much power. That's all it is. If you want to see the world clock thing, this one, it kind of does the same things. I'm not sure the exact benefit of this one over the others, because it's just a slightly different style, but it's there if you want it. So yeah, you can look fancy with clocks. Looking fancy with clocks, of course. Why not? And I did want to connect all this, well, except for the clock things, because the clock thing is just fun. But I did want to connect this back to producing. A lot of times I say that the number one thing for producing a show is timing, being on time, understanding when to hit a button, that type of thing. The other thing is knowing your workflow. If there's a number two, it'd be knowing your workflow. So if it is easier for you to set up your volumes like I just showed you using the Stream Deck Plus and directly into OBS, or if it's easier to use the Wavelength software, whatever you find better, do it. It's great that there's more options, and whatever you're comfortable working with, because you got a stream to control. So know where your buttons are, so you can press your buttons, and just how you have everything set up. Oh, also where the technique I just showed you, the OBS plugin, would come in handy, is that, let's say Rivals of Waterdeep, the intro video, it would be way difficult for me to figure out how to route that audio and everything. That's just directly in OBS. So if I wanted to control that with a dial, I could just set that up using the software I just showed. Do everything. Thank you for saying that. A lot of people try to push the one true way, and that doesn't work for everyone. Yeah, that's why I do my best to be explicit in saying, this is how I work, this is what works for me. And hopefully you can find things in here that you can adapt to how you work. Or if you want to tell me how you work, and maybe it's an approach I haven't considered before, but this is largely, how I do things, and I want to give you other software you can use so you have options. Again, like I say, I go over StreamerBot a lot here, but there are other bots, and maybe one of them works for you. Oh, again, bots, I want to go over this announcement from Twitch, because this has happened today, right now. Your third-party IRC chat commands that your bots use no longer work. So hopefully the bot that you use either had you re-authenticate or download an update or something like that to fix that. Go through your commands. If you have any commands within your bot that use the / command, they're not going to work, so you're going to want to take them out. And there's the whole article about what works. Now, / commands still, of course, work on all Twitch first-party things, so your regular chats work just fine. All of your making someone a VIP and doing announcements, banning, whatever, those all still work directly in Twitch chat. It's just interfacing with a third-party thing. Those don't work anymore, and that was active today. So hopefully all your devs should have been aware of this well beforehand and had plans for it. I've already updated StreamerBot to the current version, so everything there is working. EA, All right. And yeah, and so going back to Herb's comment, there is no one true way. There's just stuff you find useful, and how I organize things probably not going to be how you want to organize things, but if it in any way helps you create a workflow for yourself, yay. I've done my job. And thanks to Steven, I've been learning a little bit about Mix It Up Bot, and because I had a question, and he gracefully helped me out with it. I don't know yet if I'm going to switch over to it. It has some things I like, but for me, StreamerBot is a little more robust. But how much of that robustness do I need is the thing. So there's the Mix It Up app. And so that's something I got to decide on and play with. I got to make sure I understand what I'm doing before I go, oh, well, here's all my commands I was using in StreamerBot. Now I'm not using those anymore, right? I totally love StreamerBot. I just wish it had a different interface. That would have been fantastic. Because it is a just here's your code interface and not much else. And you have to click around to go to different places. But I like what it can do. And so right now I'm sticking with it. And I don't know what's going on today with my software voice mods having an issue. Things are just having issues today. All right. So if there's any streamery things we can talk about, or I can talk about, or you want to talk about with me, let me know in the chat. I'm looking over at my other screen right now. That's why I'm not looking. And I'm very confused why something isn't working when it's clearly working. So it's very strange. All right. I'm not going to worry about it, though. Because sometimes, for whatever reason, for that unknown quantity, your machine will want things activated differently than someone else's machine. And maybe I just didn't activate in a good order for my machine today. And it's one of those things I can't really explain because it just happens. Hey, Cypher, welcome on in. What's a touchscreen? Oh, I can go show that again. Handy dandy window. Oh, I just turned off all the cams for it. So this strip right here on the Stream Deck, let me turn Droid Cam back on. Just shut it off. It'll come back in a second. So this strip right here is a touch screen on the Stream Deck Plus. Yeah. So you scroll on it, it goes to your different screens. And then I was showing how you can have volume controls now through OBS directly controlling. So I click the audio mixer thing, go here, waiting for OBS, and then pretzel. And I will unmute pretzel. And I'll click up the OBS window. And so when I have pretzel playing, I can now just turn it up and down directly in OBS. And I'm not using the Wavelink software or any other third-party software. I'm just directly controlling my audio source in OBS with the dial. So yeah, eventually they're going to make it so that functionality works with the buttons. So if you don't have the Stream Deck Plus, you can still use it. And let's see here. Delete that. Then I was also talking about a little bit about this bot, which I normally use StreamerBot, but uh, Steven uses Mix It Up bot, and so I've been kind of looking at that a bit. I think Steven, Pirate, and someone else use it. But there's that. I've been using StreamerBot, and I'm kind of deciding between Mix It Up and StreamerBot for just doing stuff on my stream. The thing I like about StreamerBot is that I can create decks, and like I did a few weeks ago now, have Herb control the stream with just sending them a URL and giving them access to it. And I have all the buttons set up, and so someone remote could produce your stream, and that's a very handy feature of Streamer.bot that I like a lot. Let's see here. Streamer.bot goes there. And then I was talking about how I do show off the tools I like, but there are many ways of doing things. And so important things when producing, first one, timing. Second one, getting your personal workflow down. And so, if you don't want to use the Wavelength software that comes with the Stream Deck Plus, don't have to, right? There's other ways to do things that might work better for you. I show off tools I like, and hopefully that sparks some ideas and gets you to use other tools in a similar fashion, because many of these things can do similar things, right? So normally the three bots I talk about are StreamerBot, Atom, and Sammy, and then every other bot I see seems to be some variation on those themes. I don't know which bots came first, but seems to do it. Like Mix It Up app looks a little more like Atom, but they kind of do different things, and I like a lot of what I see from Mix It Up app. Now, how useful is it for producing a live stream? You just use Nightbot, or for an actual play live stream. Other than Streamer.bot having decks so someone else can produce it, I haven't done much that would affect an actual play stream with these bots. And so kind of thinking about that, and if I come up with some good stuff for what you could do with them with an actual play stream that you already can't do with the other things you have, I'll let you know. But if you're just running giveaways and you need some commands. Now, if you want more complicated commands to run than what Nightbot can do, then yeah, you're going to definitely want to make them in another bot like StreamerBot or Atom or Sammy or Mix It Up. And if you're ever at a convention and you see and they accept my panel for producing 101, I definitely specifically point out timing, but I think I'm going to add to that an understanding of workflow, because that was the idea that just hit me a few nights ago. Was I'm kind of talking about this, but I'm not actually saying the word workflow, and that's just as important as anything else you're going to do, because understanding where things are and what they do is so important to what you do as a producer. So, and knowing how you work and using those tools. And yeah, so if there's something you want me to look at or review or think I should take a look at it, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to look at it, give thoughts, or at least give some ideas how I would do it with the tools I have available to me, because obviously I'm not going to, I just don't have the money to buy every single widget and gadget there is for streaming, but I can probably do something similar, and I can probably have some advice on best practices for that thing. because again, I've been doing this a long time. Octopath Traveler 2 is also out. Ooh. Ooh. I like Octopath Traveler. And it's available for a bunch of things, right? Not just the Switch like the first one at launch. Yeah, it's on everything. So, yay. And wow, these games are gorgeous. I've been saying this for a while, but video game art has just been exceptional over the past, I don't know, 5-10 years. It's just indie games coming out and other games. I find more art that I really like than ever before. Video games. And here's the site for Octopath 2. And Octopath is one of those games I play offline because it's a lot of reading, and I don't want to do all that reading on stream. So, but it looks great, and it has a fairly deep story. So check it out. Currently, I'm playing Tales of Arise, which is a lot of fun, but it's very anime tropey McAnime. It's still a lot of fun. I like the couple of Tales of series that I sort of played. I enjoyed, and Tales of Arise seems to be like the best expression of the Tales of series so far. Even though it came out a year or so ago, but I got it on sale over the holidays, so I might as well play it. But now there's Octopath Traveler 2. Wow, collector's edition, $180. I don't know if I like Octopath Traveler that much, but all these collector's editions have cool stuff. Oh, what was the recent collector's edition that's like $200 some or more? Great, now I can't remember. Popular. Oh, the Baldur's Gate 3 collector's edition. If you haven't seen this yet, and I'm very excited, it's going to be available for the PS5. And yes, there's an announcement that'll eventually. Don't call me out. I might have ordered that CE. It's really cool. I can't blame anyone for getting it. It's like this looks like it's worth what you put into it. That's all here. And for those wondering about an Xbox version, they have released a statement, or at least there's a news article about it, that it will be on Xbox Series XS. It exists, but the proper announcement was delayed due to some sort of technical reason. So it will come out. It's just it's been in development. It's just not out right now. So those that are bemoaning that's not available on Xbox, it will be. It's just taking them a bit to get there. That dude who cried in the comments of the announcement of the release date for PS5, yeah. What? Like, they didn't say, nowhere did they say it's definitely not coming out for the Xbox. They just didn't make an announcement about the Xbox yet, right? Like, so there's a news article covering, hey, it's going to be on the Xbox. It's just taking them a little longer for whatever developer reasons, because games are hard to make. Whatever style of game you're making, whether it be a TTRPG, a video game, it takes time, a lot of energy, a lot of effort, and it's not an easy task. It may be a rewarding task, it may even be a fun task, but it takes a long time. And I'm sure the last thing they want as a title as big as Baldur's Gate 3 is to deliver less than stellar experience on a platform. Right? And I will probably be getting the PS5 version just so I can look at it in pretty and not melt my computer. Oh yeah, thanks for the picture. How much did Sony pay you for that deal? It, yeah, that's what I meant. Let me know if it doesn't load. No, it loads. It loads fine. Yeah, I hope he feels foolish AF too. Just to let you know, this person, I'm not even going to acknowledge their name, but you can click that link that's in chat. It says after the Baldur's Gate 3 announcement, it says, how much did Sony paid you for the deal? It might be interesting to throw that at the Activision Blizzard case. What? What does that have to do with anything? Yeah, I'm a bit salty. I was waiting this announcement since years, and again, Sony robbed it from Xbox players, like KOTOR, FFs, etc. Very disappointed in Larian. None of that is true. Like, sure, video game companies trying to get exclusives, but they're not like over like, here, this one's mine. I took it from you. What? And now, if we wait over time, we get announcements on things that weren't announced, that were never denied. Like, I'm just going to stare at the Baldur's Gate 3 Collector's Edition again and look at the pretty. Those character sheets are amazing. That art on those, holy cow. You get Magic the Gathering cards, because, of course, a cloth map. Ooh, oversized metal D20. 160-page art book. 160 pages of art for this game. Okay, the game certificate. Those always amuse me. Like, your collector number, blah, blah, blah. Like, cool. But the Mind Flayer versus Drow battle diorama that comes with this, that is gorgeous. That is amazing. That's definitely worth the price. And stickers. Oh, the tadpole keyring is also pretty cool. You can have that, DC. I do not want it. Excellent. I will display it for sure. Let's see here. Oh, and speaking of geekeries things, I of course did a thing. Let's see. Gotta find where I put it in my stream. Oh, there we go. So yeah, look. It's my bookcase. Well, it's a picture of my bookcase that is on my green screen. I can totally ruin this illusion real quick. Ooh, look at that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So if I move over this way, that's the grunty from the dot hack slash hack sign, well, whatever it was called, anime, and then a Dragon Warrior slime that I got at probably Anime Central when I was there. And I got all sorts of knickknacks on these things. The can see some of the Star Wars Black series behind me. The Lion Cat from Saga books, not in any particular order, but yeah. So now I can pretend to be a real streamer. One day I'll put LED lights in that bookcase because it's over there, and then I'll take a picture of that, and then I'll just put that behind me on my green screen. Because look, if I want that bookcase actually behind me, I have to do some major construction work in the space, and I don't want to do that. At least not yet. There's like behind my green screen is this whole bar that don't use, and so I'd have to rip all of that out, move find a place for all the stuff that's been accumulated on the bar. And yeah, no, that's going to take a while and probably not happening anytime soon. All right, back to looking at the Baldur's Gate 3 Collector's Edition. Ooh, pretty.